Well, hi, folks. I'm back again. Fit as a fiddle. Fit as a fiddle. Don't try to play me, though. I'm sorry. Anyway, Lawrence Leroy Blair, candidate for president 2024. Anyway, I got a few things to say today about what Joe had to say a short while back. I don't know if it was today or yesterday. He was giving a speech somewhere, and he said he said he didn't qualify to be a fireman, a policeman, or a priest. Why do you think that was, huh? Why do you think that was? Well, I think it's because at bottom, every man knows his limits. Joe didn't have the integrity, the courage, or the love for his fellow man required to become a fireman, a policeman, or a priest, probably. But he did have the requirements to become a politician, a very accomplished politician at that. This he was well qualified for. How was he qualified, you ask? I'm glad you ask. What are the requirements to become a successful politician in the world systems today? Well, it seems to me the most important quality in a good politician is the ability to compromise. Compromise. Hate that word. Compromise, the act of giving up something to gain something. But when a person such as Joe has admitted he is a man with no love for his fellow man, he admitted that because he's got no courage, got no integrity, he's got no love for his fellow man. He's admitted it. Anyway, when a person such as Joe, he's like that, do you think he'll give up something important to himself to gain something important for you? You think he'll make a compromise that's good for you or one that's good for himself? Well, common sense and a bit of wisdom should tell you, no, you wouldn't. He'll give away what is in your interest, what is in your best interest to gain his best interest. Another important virtue, twisted virtue indeed, is the ability to lie without ever feeling remorse or ever even feeling a twinge of guilt. And finally, the most important trait of a successful politician, it's the ability to do evil without any pangs of conscience whatsoever. Well, that's the description of a sociopath. The term sociopath refers to someone living with antisocial personality disorder, ASPD. That's what they call it. As does the term psychopath. They're closely related. One's slightly worse than the other. They're both terribly bad. The most recent edition of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, DSM-5, which mental health professionals use to diagnose mental health conditions, defines ASPD as a consistent disregard for rules and social norms and repeated violation of other people's rights. Does that sound like Joe? People with the condition might seem charming, oh so charming and charismatic, at least on the surface, but they generally find it difficult to understand other people's feelings. They often break rules or laws. Ukraine deals. Don't forget Ukraine deals. Behave aggressively or impulsively. Yeah, war. Is war aggressive? Is hating Russia aggressive? Nah. Feel little guilt for harm they cause others, especially if they're Eastern Ukrainians or Russians or whoever, Iranians or Syrians. Use manipulation, deceit, and controlling behavior. Manipulation, deceit, forget it. I don't need to describe him that way, do I? No. So is Joe a sociopath? Well, maybe. It all depends on if he knows the difference between right and wrong. If he does, he's a sociopath. If he doesn't, he's something even worse. He's a psychopath. A person who has no feeling of right or wrong, all things being equal, all things good for Joe. In a nutshell, people with sociopathy may have little empathy and a habit of rationalizing their actions, but they do know the difference between right and wrong. Do you think Joe does? Well, psychopathy involves no sense of morality or empathy. No right or wrong, no love for anyone or anything other than self. This is Joe. This is Joe. Now here's the question for the day, for you folks. How did such a creature get into the highest office in the land? How? This is a question every person who has ever voted or ever will vote needs to ask themselves. How could I allow this to happen? Because we did. We allowed this to happen. We put that man in office. We or people just like us. What does it matter, the party? We allowed this to happen. We voted in one politician after another. We knew, or at least we should have known, the description of a politician. I gave it quite a ways back. The description of a politician. Compromise, compromise, compromise. Ladies and gentlemen, my fellow citizens, I do not compromise. I hate that. I hate it. You know what compromise is? Compromise is giving up what is good for something that is not quite as good, but good enough. Well, I'm a Christian. I have a God, a holy God, and I want him to rule my life. I want to do good. I don't want to do less than good. How can I compromise good for something less than good? Less than good is some kind of evil. No, compromise is no good. You go for the good. Well, anyway, I'm no politician. If you want a politician for president, vote for one of the parties. Vote for one of the parties. They're full of politicians. So, God bless fellow citizens. Have a good day.